Slapped together from the first 4 episodes of the Penthouse Basements Podcast comes our very own Frankenstein's monster of a best-of episode. Topics discussed include the evolution of the internet's favorite podcast segment, What's Up, Yo?, our first mention of podcast sweetheart Channing Tatum, and Betty White versus a giant chicken. All this and more next on the Best of the Penthouse Basements Podcast, Volume 1.
The Penthouse Basements Podcast.
Penthouse Basements Podcast. Penthouse Basements One of the other reoccurring segments that I wanted to do every episode is a thing called What You Watching, where I would go around the panel and we'll tweak the name, probably.
I was just thinking they would probably have like, I think it's like a radio show where you say that and it's got like a weird like, what you watching? Like some weird like sound thing happening. Can you hear that?
You're listening to Studley and Coco. Now it's time for What You Watching.
What you watching? Yeah,
Auga, auga.
We'll have to put that in next year's budget, right next to beer.
Of course, after beer. Okay, continuing.
Right,
sorry.
so yeah, I wanted to go around the panel, and anything of note over the last week or so that you've read, a video game you've played, a movie you've seen, a TV show you've watched that is good or bad in any noteworthy sort of way. Just to get the dialogue going, and let's see, somebody has their hand raised.
It is not me, it's Jeremy.
There. Oh, Jeremy, yes, you want to start off the very first, what you doing, maybe better?
What's
I
up,
don't
Jeremy?
know. We'll tweak this.
What you doing?
What's up, yo? How about what's up, yo?
Well, whatever. I can't think of a way to make this funny, but it was just a good movie, Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, continue.
You like that movie? Wow, you're a dick. Yes, it's Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, his shirt does come off. That's how I know his McConaughey movie.
I was worried for a second.
Yeah, I know. And it's him as a lawyer who drives a Lincoln Town car based off of a book, and he is basically like a crime thriller. And it was good. That's all I can say. I recommend it. If I had to rate it out of 5 stars, which I give it like 4 and change.
Change stars.
It was pretty good.
Nice, yeah. Any good previews before?
Well, I watched it on Netflix.
Would you like to reenact one of the scenes while we're here?
Would you like to mime one
Yes.
of the scenes?
For those of you who can't see, my shirt's now removed.
Oh, now that goes along because his pants were already gone.
Yeah.
So
This
now,
party got awesome.
now he's completely naked, everybody.
And they're laughing because they're embarrassed.
Tee-hee, tee-hee.
Yeah, that was it. I can't remember. It was just really good.
It was good. Okay, Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln-
Or what was it
Lincoln
called?
Lawyer.
Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh.
Did you actually think it was Lincoln Law?
Of course I didn't.
I think Lawyer Logs is probably the ideal name for it.
Lawyer Logs? Matthew McConaughey as a toddler solving crimes in building. Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs. The movie.
Lincoln Lawyer Logs.
How are we ever going to build this cabin? I've got an idea. Dun dun dun. Lincoln Logs. The movie.
This cabin's going to take a while to build, but
And the sequel could be Lincoln Lawyer, The Appeal.
The way this game works is Nick and Jeremy are going to do a scene. I have the scene. They do not know what the scene is. Improv. And I'm going to pick a letter of the alphabet then. And every sentence that they say has to start with that letter of the alphabet and then go from that letter all the way around the alphabet. And the game will end when we reach that letter again. And
What if I am unable to read?
good for speaking. So. It sounds like we already have this written out. Oh my god.
For all of our illiterate fans out there, I hope that last joke did not offend you.
Well, they probably won't find this funny. Like, why are you talking so slowly? This is stupid.
Okay, so I thought you were like rearing up to burp.
No.
Yeah,
I'll like this, like, oh, stop. I really hope that someone somewhere will take this segment of time and then animate it and put our vocals to it. I have big dreams for this.
Well, I just sounded like a meth addict there, so hopefully they will put like somebody tweaking out when I was talking. But anyway, okay, so your scene is Jeremy. You are a young lad who has come to the police station to report your missing dog to Desk Sergeant Nick. And your letter is J. Alphabet.
Just need some help, sir. My dog's gone missing.
Knickers! That's sad to hear. I curse in such proper English.
Let me show you a picture of my dog. Here it is. Crinkle, crinkle, unfolding noises. Her name is Sally.
Make haste with an explanation, young lad.
Now listen here. This is what happened. I was walking along the canal.
Oh,
Please let me finish.
quite sorry.
Really, I was next to the canal when all of a sudden a giant sea beast came out.
And suddenly,
Try not to interrupt my story, sir. Also, I believe you said "and suddenly," and it threw me off. The sea beast hit Sally in the butt, and she broke free of my leash, and she ran down towards the Potter's house.
understandably upset you are.
Very upset. I loved Sally so much, and I just want her back so badly.
What will you do if the Potter eats this dog? Or did I skip a letter? I'm on point, thank you.
Extra death to them I will bring from the skies. I speak regal when I am angry. I will not let the Potters eat Sally.
Yes, that's what they all say. But then, inevitably, they go to the home and beg for leftovers.
Zebras are what I'm offering them instead of the dog. I will break into the zoo with your help, Desk Sergeant Nick, to kidnap a delicious zebra.
African zebras?
Borderline African. They're zebras that you find on that little strip, Sinai Peninsula by Egypt. They're almost Asian.
Caucasian?
Don't be silly. If it's east of the Caucasus but in Asia, does that always count as Caucasian? Come on now.
East Asia?
Forget all these geographical things. Let's just... My dog is still missing and I can't find her. Will you please come with me?
How long is this going to take, young lad?
Good amount of time. I'm just going to cover your tracks.
I appreciate that.
Just come and get to me.
Oh, that was great. Taro, what you doing?
Well, also, as I mentioned before the mic turned on, I got pooped on by a bird about 5 minutes before this podcast started. The damage was minor. Only a little bit on my skirt of my top, but a lot on my phone. I was reading an article on my phone, and suddenly there was liquid bird poop on the phone as well. So, still recovering. It was a bit of an experience for me, but I think in the end I'm going to be okay.
This is the danger of texting while walking. Excuse me, I just went through puberty there.
Well, hello.
If you don't get hit by a car, you'll get shot by a bird.
I was standing. This was safe pedestrian behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I was leaning up against a tree, and that clearly was my downfall.
I was also slightly nervous showing up off of a Craigslist post to someone's basement. So, like an idiot, I said to myself, well, I'm not going to take my wallet. So I did not bring my wallet to the first meeting of the Penthouse Basements, and
Jeremy tried to rob you anyway.
right. Well, if he
To no avail.
if he was like a crazy murderer, he wasn't going to be like, oh, no wallet. Well, I guess I better not kill him.
That would be the weirdest MO ever. It's not, I've got a free couch. It's, I have an improv troupe. To lure all those rich improvers to his basement.
Well, I was going to spare you if I was able to get something from you, but you have nothing, so I'm going to kill you now.
I'll take your soul.
So that is a story that I wasn't able to tell in the first podcast because I forgot. So I hope it was worth the wait. It's called Super Battles, where I give the guests some hypothetical battles between various people and characters. And we will have to decide the clear winner of that battle.
Question in advance of the game.
Go ahead.
Are we each taking a position and negotiating for it?
No, no,
Okay.
you are
We're having a dialogue.
Yeah, you're gonna have a dialogue as to who will win, and unless stated, this battle is going to take place on a neutral grass field. So that is an important little nugget there. So for the very first battle in our first ever segment of Super Battles, Dracula versus 3 lions. Who would win?
This is 3 separate lions, or is this a Cerberus type creature?
This is 3 separate lions. Good question, though.
Thank you.
I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking lions.
Defend your choice.
I've been to the zoo. Lions they hunt in packs, correct?
Yes, they are pack animals.
So, I feel like if one of the lions gets... Can I ask another clarifying question?
Yes.
Do the 2 entities know they're fighting? Or is it they just show up in the same...
They both got a secret invitation
Right.
from Susie. Meet me in the grass field at 3 o'clock, love Susie.
I ask because if the lion is aware, if one of the 3 lions is aware that this is an enemy or someone that they would like to attack, or a potential food source, I think they're going to convince the other 2 lions that we should go for it. And I don't see Dracula as having a lot to counteract that.
I'm gonna fervently disagree. It's Dracula all the way, and I'll tell you why. Unless these lions have mastered the art of firing silver bullets out of guns, or gripping wooden stakes with their giant paws, I don't remember Dracula being killable by tearing his flesh limb from limb. I don't know what would happen in that case.
That is
That's
interesting.
an interesting point. I'm also here's the depth of my knowledge. I'm doing a hand gesture of Dracula. I mostly remember Count Chocula, the cereal. I know more about him than Dracula.
That's a whole nother battle.
Right. Setting that aside,
Right, yeah.
I don't know if it's the case with these beings that the only ways to kill them are the ones that are explicitly stated.
Well, okay, it's... Garlic doesn't kill a vampire. It just repels them.
That is correct.
Same with a cross, I believe. Like, if you touch the cross on Dracula, it will just, like, burn a cross into him. But it won't kill him outright. The only way to kill a vampire, I believe, is stake through the heart. Or sunlight.
Oh, that's right. The silver bullet, that's like the werewolf.
Yeah, that
Yes.
I didn't know what that was, so I just let that go. So if you're saying the only way to kill a Dracula is stake through the heart,
Yes.
then I have to change my position. Because tearing limb from limb is not a stake through the heart.
See, that's another thing, though. So, what would constitute a win?
Well, I thought it was fight to the death.
If Dracula is in a million pieces in the field, but he's still alive, does he win? if the lions have like died of starvation.
This is your game. You need to set rules.
I wonder if he's got like T-1000 powers where the shreds of him come out of the lion poop and sort of reform into Dracula.
I've just given a small skeleton of the game, though. So, like, I'm just coming up with the characters. Everything else, the musculature, the veins, the blood and organs, that is us to cultivate.
Well, the blood and organs of Dracula, if we maintain that it is still alive and that's good enough to win, then I'm going million pieces of Dracula 1, 3 lions 0.
So, this is going to be a battle that takes as long as it takes for lions to starve.
It's a long battle.
Well, I was just thinking that if the rule is can you kill them, and we've established that you cannot kill Dracula,
Right.
then by default, the only possible thing that's going to die is the lions.
The lions,
so
right.
either the pieces of Dracula kill it, or Dracula kills it before it's in pieces, or they starve. If the lions are going to die, and Dracula's not, Dracula wins.
Well, I believe we're missing... it's not a foregone conclusion that Dracula is unkillable, because he can starve as well. I mean, he's got to feed on blood. Which brings me to my next point. All he's got to do is get one lion, and then you've got 2 against 2. Vampire lion plus Dracula versus remaining lions.
Betty White versus a mutant chicken the size of a golden retriever. Betty White has a club.
A fan club?
Obviously, no. She has a weapon. She has a club.
Neutral field again?
Still neutral field, and it is not a club that you use to protect your car from being robbed. It is a wooden club.
And it's the size of the chicken is the size of a...
Yes, the chicken is not a normal chicken. It is sort of a mutant chicken. Let's say it ate some radioactive feed or was taken to a power plant on Take Your Chicken to Work Day and grew to the size of a golden retriever and has gone rogue, attacking people, and they thought, let's call Betty White, give her a club, maybe she can stop it.
A couple initial thoughts.
Please.
Just laying this out here, I'm not sure which way I'm leaning yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should clarify. Betty White is an actress.
Oh, yes.
Because
I got both of these,
Okay.
thank you.
Golden Girls, she was on Golden Girls.
Yes.
And she was on a Match Game in the 70s.
and she's
was,
not
yeah.
a zombie.
No.
Yet. So, my first thought is that chickens are not intelligent. However, I have butchered chickens, and it is true that while they do not literally run around with their heads cut off, they flail and their nervous systems continue to act, so it appears that they are still moving around after their heads have been chopped off. So,
Some teenagers hang out behind the 7-Eleven in North Dakota.
No, I was really little. I was probably 5 or 6, helping butcher chickens on my
That's
grandpa's farm.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be covered in my other podcast, Butchering Chickens Weekly.
So, again, and I hate to quibble, and I don't know if your friends in college would quibble on this.
No. This is what this entails, so quibble away.
Again, it comes down to defining winning, because both chickens and Betty White have shown the ability to regenerate. So, clearly a missing head or, a 2 decades gap of fame does not stop either of these entities. And so it's going to be hard to take either of them down.
Well, Betty White is approaching 90 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I don't know that she would have the ability to wield a club with incredible might and power. On the other hand, she's not corn.
No, we've established that.
I think you're right. That's an interesting point. She probably has frail arms, and when she dies, this podcast will be horrible. But I think a number of soft blows would be sufficient to slowly and inhumanely kill the chicken.
Soft blows, ironically, my nickname in college. Yeah, I think the chicken would go down fairly easy. I don't know. This is a tough one. I kind of want to give it to the chicken. First of all, the chicken wanted it more. And second, I mean, for a woman like Betty White, who has reached just astronomical celebrity, what an obituary! What a headline! I just throw down my arms.
That's interesting.
Betty
Death
White.
not the end of the battle.
That's true.
Wait, you were arguing the opposite. You were saying if the chicken wins,
Betty White really wins.
Betty
Right,
White really
because
wins
the chicken would be murdered in the court of public opinion.
and she would be hailed.
Yes.
She would rise above.
Betty White sacrifices herself to destroy the mutant chicken menace.
A Paul Bunyan type mythology would develop about Betty White. Having hair like ivory towers. And the club like a tree trunk. And she ran full gallop at the chicken.
I like it. I like Betty White winning in After Death.
Celebrities, man. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. Okay, so the initial fight, we're saying chicken.
Yes.
Initial fight, we're saying chicken.
Chicken wins the battle. Betty White wins the war.
Next, we're going to do the feature segment. It's called Yes.
Oh yeah.
Get ready.
I'm excited.
Choose your own adventure. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Remember the old choose your own adventure books from your youth when you were a young lad? Or
Yes.
Yeah, from my ute.
Okay, so I'm going to read through one of them. This one is called The Haunted House.
Pick these up from the 19-year-old?
I actually beat up a first grader and took them.
Mine now.
Bitch.
Guess your adventure ends here.
If you would like me to stab you in the gut, turn to page 5. If you would like me to punch you in the eye, turn to page 7.
Punch in the eye. It's a microphone.
Okay, so I'm going to read through this. They're not seeing anything. They're going to debate the choices, and hopefully they will make it to a good conclusion that does not involve death or, like the book setting on fire in my hand. All right.
Interesting.
This is the preface. Read this first. Most books are about other people. This book is about you.
Oh my God! It's a biography. It's unauthorized.
What happens to you in the haunted house depends on what you decide to do. Do not read this book from the first page through to the last. Instead, start at page 1 and read until you come to your first choice. Then turn to the page shown to see what happens. When you come to the end of a story, go back and try another choice. Every choice leads to a new adventure. Good luck.
That's where they get the title.
Oh!
This book is dedicated to Anson, Ramsey, and Judy.
Hanson?
I don't even know those people.
Yeah, I
The story's
dedicate-
about me?
Yeah. Why would I dedicate it to random
It should
people?
be dedicated to mommy, daddy, and sibling.
To choose
Yeah.
to name your child Anson, turn to page 7.
That's not a real name. No.
Hanson was already taken.
They TM'd Hanson.
Maybe they were British. Call him Hanson.
Edgom Anson! Oh, that's a great name. No, not Anson. I said Anson.
Alrighty.
Well, don't get your knickers in a wanking. Water closet.
Choose your own cockney.
God. Oh, my. I really want to hear a version of this where British people are doing a fake American accent. I'm trying to figure out what they would say. Cool, guys. Okay, sorry. Kidding. Okay.
No, it's alright.
Nothing's happened.
That was
Okay,
a nice
focus.
thing. Okay, we begin our story. You and your dog Homer are walking home from school for lunch one day. Since he loves to play, you pick up a stick from the sidewalk and give it a big toss. Homer goes after it. Suddenly a white cat runs in front of him and zoom! Homer starts chasing the cat. Homer chases her right into the yard of a big gray house. But you stop short at the gate. Wow! It looks as if no one has lived here for years. The grass is uncut. The front door is slightly open. Most of the windows are broken, and there are shingles missing from the roof. It's definitely a scary-looking old house. Maybe it's haunted. Homer is nowhere in sight. You call out for him. Homer! Hey, Homer! Come back, Homer. No answer. Turn to page 2. No choice.
I didn't get to choose anything.
No choice.
While you're turning, I like to take this time to say, it said you're walking home from school with your dog. What school are you bringing your dog to? Sorry, just throwing out some inconsistencies.
I would like to choose private school.
Maybe it's obedience school for the dog.
All right, it's
He's
specified.
obviously not working.
Yeah, he's not working. Here, Homer,
I'm
no!
going to choose a different obedience school.
Oh, this is an obedience school, it's disobedience school.
To choose Worthington's obedience school, turn to page 17.
The dressage.
Okay, alright, focus, gentlemen. You have to find Homer. He's your friend. You enter the front yard through the old rusty gate. You tiptoe around to the back of the house. You see a stone bench and an empty fish pond, but no Homer. You sit down on the bench to think for a minute. Even though it's warm out, the stone bench makes you feel very cold. All of a sudden, there's an icy gust of wind. You are freezing. You hear a voice coming from inside the house. Homer is in the house. The voice is deep and loud and very, very scary.
Then you'll have to do it again.
Homer is... I won't be able to do it again. You want to find Homer, but that voice is so awful that you don't want to go anywhere near the house.
Homer is in
What should you do? So this could be the end right here because the choices are, if you want to go into the house, turn to page 9. If you want to run away, Turn to page 5.
Okay, I think we should probably, for the sake of course, yes and. I think we should go in the house.
For some reason, I feel like choosing to run away will not work. Otherwise...
Like you try and run away, but like the gate's locked, or suddenly you're in the house.
Right.
And then the house knows you're scared, and then it kills
Maybe
you.
the tree reaches out and grabs you and flings you into the house.
Oh, God. Yeah, we should just go directly in the house. We're going to go in there anyway, so.
You going with it?
Yes, let's go in the house.
All right.
But then, can we definitely... We need to see what happens later.
We're going to page 9. We're going in the house. Turning to page 9.
You're killed immediately.
The world blows up the end. No.
Completely unrelated to the house.
By the way, nuclear aggression in China has been escalating as this story has been going on. No, okay. After all, you say to yourself, this is just an empty house. It's not really haunted. So you decide to go in through the boarded up back door. You pull a board aside and push the door open. It is damp inside and smells of an old sneaker.
She said, sorry. As soon as you said damn, I was like, yeah! I got this. Okay.
You tiptoe into the dark room, holding your breath so you won't make any noises. Suddenly a woman in a white dress appears. She smiles at you.
What does she smell like?
An old jockstrap. It doesn't say that. She smiles at you and then disappears into the darkness. Another choice, friends. If you tried to follow the mysterious woman who's disappeared, turn to page 6. If you're not sure what to do, turn to page 4.
Mill around and let us continue this for you. Or...
So let me get this straight. One of the choices is... Oh.
Yes.
I'm pretty indecisive. Again, I'd say for continuing. She smiles, so if she's a ghost, she's probably, well, I would assume she's friendly, but she could be.
Picture.
Oh, she looks very pretty.
She does.
Yeah, and she looks.
And I look like a girl. Why do I have a ponytail?
Well, it's unisex.
Very
so
flat.
A
You could just say.
unisex ponytail. Alright, let's follow her, but I'm afraid of her deep-voiced boyfriend finding us.
Yes.
Hey, your punishment must be more severe.
Sean Connery, the ghost.
Yeah. Sean Bain Connery.
All right, back to page 6. You follow the mysterious woman outside.
I see a picture of an alligator.
Oh, no. You can jump a mile high. You can even fly.
Wait, hold on. Can you start that over?
I will start it over because it seems to not make any sense. You follow the mysterious woman outside. You can jump a mile high. You can even fly. You are having so much fun that you nearly forget about Homer.
What? No.
Animal-hating bastard. Okay, choice. Here's the picture, by the way, of you literally flying with the woman.
Oh, we're with her.
Yes, you've found her and are now flying with her. If you want to continue on with the woman, turn to page 16. If you want to find Homer, turn to page 17.
So it's like, I need to find Homer. Oh, a lady. Oh, wait, I need to find Homer. This is a book for, like, the kids with ADD.
Choose your own adventure, the horrible truth.
Man, I feel like I could go either way because the original focus is to find Homer, but I mean, I don't know why we don't just ask this lady, hey, have you seen a dog?
I feel like having the ability to fly is better than having a dog. So I'm going to go with keep flying with the lady.
All right, and she might give us the dog. We get
This
both.
could quickly turn into some sort of a sapphic story, maybe, if we... okay, so you're going to screw the dog, and you're going to...
No. For now, we're still flying.
Still flying.
Well, I guess the story is saying that I believe in Homer, but I mean, we're flying. I think it's taking.
Dave, you want to...
Fly away.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue flying with the woman. We're turning to page 16. Oh, wow.
Is it enough?
You follow the mysterious woman higher and higher. Soon she stops on a cloud. The sun shines through her. She smiles at you. Then she walks up a sunbeam. You follow her. When you look back, the scary house is just a little gray dot. Maybe it's time to turn around. If you do not turn back and leave the mysterious woman, turn to 26. Wait a minute, no. If you do want to turn back and leave the woman, turn to 26. If you want to see where the Sunbeam takes you, turn to 29.
I want to go to heaven.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, there's two things here. One, I'm thinking if we try to go back, she has the magical power and we just plummet from the cloud to our death, and we'll be there anyway. So really, it's probably lose-lose. I mean, she's going to heaven. Maybe Homer's already there.
All dogs.
Do go to heaven. I say let's follow this lady and up the Sunbeam.
You want to see where the Sunbeam goes? Probably
Yes.
to like a bread factory or something. Let's keep going.
You're in a bread factory.
It smells,
Smells
like bread.
delicious. Like bread even.
It smells pretty crusty. Bread jokes. You climb the Sunbeam. The steps are made of gold, and they are just the right size for you. The air is warm and smells good. You hear music. It sounds familiar, but you can't quite tell what the song is. It is so pleasant up on the Sunbeam that you want to go on walking forever. Hold on. Shouldn't you turn back now? After all, what about Homer and home and school and your friends? If you want to turn back,
No.
go
God
to
damn it.
54. If you want to continue, turn to 56.
Clearly, we're walking to our death, but it's kind of. I mean, listen how they're structuring this. Want to go back? No. Do you want to go back? No. Do you want to go back?
There's a lot of pressure in this book.
You idiot! I gave you 10 chances. Now you're in hell. Oh. I think they'll be.
You're going to keep
I'm
going.
gonna think like a kid.
I want to keep going, goddammit.
All right. We're continuing. 56. Here we go.
Sounds like again. This is not a very big book.
Actually, it's kind of what I did before too. It's like, uh-oh, that's a later page.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're welcome.
You decide to continue following the mysterious woman. At last, she turns right and stops. There is a path to Venus. Follow it if you wish. Then she vanishes, poof, in a puff of pink smoke. You start to walk on the path. It is beautiful. Venus seems very small. Venus has windows and curtains and wallpaper and swimming trophies. And wait, it's your own room. You sit up in bed. It was all a dream.
Oh,
The
come on!
end. You lose. Good day, sir.
That is a loss. Well, that means we got the dog because it was a dream. But at the same point, come on, that's not fair.
Podcast.
Is your mouth evacuated of enough food to tell us your what's up, yo, Jeremy?
I think it is. Also, I think it was the correct use of evacuate on a person. I think.
Nice. I'm
think so.
shocked because you're like borderline retarded. Good use of that word.
I just remember that there's a segment from The Wire. It's like the people were evacuated. It's like that sounds like that means they shit themselves. Buildings are evacuated. People are not evacuated.
Given the right level of spiciness they are.
It was like, well, I guess evacuate the food. I think that makes sense. I don't know. Okay, anyways, I am currently reading Crime and Punishment. I got a little help sheet. I never read it before. And I heard it was one of those books. I heard
Dostoevsky.
Yeah, Dostoevsky. I was like, wait. I was thinking Brother Karamazov. I was like, is it that book? No, that's his name. Okay. I heard it was one of the good ones, and so I'm reading it. I'm like, maybe a third of the way through? A little less than a third of the way through. It's not bad. Have you guys read it?
In like the 11th grade. Weren't you ever in 11th grade?
No, skipped it.
Oh.
That's not true. I went to 11th grade. Well, something I realized while I'm reading it.
Are
First of
there
all, it's
ni-
not bad. What?
Are there ninjas and robots in it?
Well, there's not. Well, you can't see the ninjas. They're good ninjas if they're in there.
Okay, go on.
And if there are robots, they haven't identified themselves.
Okay.
Assuming
Yet.
they passed the Turing test, so they're
Yet.
hiding. Where were they going? Oh, but something that's annoying me about this. So the premise starts off with this guy as a student who's agonizing over something. It gets to the point where he talks about he was agonizing over. He's thinking about killing his, I guess like his loan shark or whatever. He's selling bits of stuff to this lady, and his thought is she keeps hoarding it. He's going to kill her, and he can distribute the wealth, and that will do more good because it'll save more people. At least that was the initial, like, it was like a one-paragraph thing that he said that, but nothing has happened of him doing any good after that. He killed her and her sister, who even said he was trying to help, but he just killed her. And then it's him agonizing for like 100 pages trying to get caught. It's kind of dumb at that point. It's like, oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I feel so remorseful, or do I? I don't know. I don't feel anything. And it's like that for 100 pages. Like, well, do something. He's just wandering around the city with his friend being like, you're an idiot. Being all Russian, trying to get caught and not doing it.
So it's like the Russian Robin Hood if he were a meth addict.
And a killer.
Right.
Mostly meth addict. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it still isn't bad, but this back and forth of him talking about trying to get caught, I'm guessing, I feel like he somehow is his guilt. I don't even know if he feels guilty, but I'm like, what the heck is going on? I guess that was kind of a neutral review. I'm only a third way through.
Well, I mean,
I haven't got to the robot.
Don't want to go either way because you haven't finished it yet. All the fans of the book will cry bloody murder if you've passed judgment on it before you finish reading it. So, very good neutral review, Jeremy.
It's a classic work of Russian literature. As in, you would respond, but your mouth is, again, full of food.
It seemed like a quasi non sequitur. It's Russian lit! Think about that. Let it sink in.
Like One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. Did you read that?
Is that? Or there's another guy.
I don't know who was the author, but that one I remember better. I think he was just this Russian peon in like a forced labor camp. And it talks about how he's just working for hours and how, they give him a bowl of soup, but it's very thin, and it just seems like the worst day in the world. But the whole point of the book is that it's actually the best day he's had in a long time.
Shit!
They, like, scooped the soup from the bottom. And things like that just and it really gives you perspective. Just like how the book you're reading gives you perspective about murder.
Well, except the thing is, I could quasi-see with the one-paragraph argument. I can actually understand that. I don't say I agree with it, but him saying, hey, this lady is hoarding this, taking money from people. If I kill her, I mean, it's the only way to do it. I'll steal her money, and then I will donate and distribute it, and it'll help more people or something. All right, a little warped logic, and I think he overheard someone in, like, a bar discussing this idea, like, oh, we wouldn't do it. Oh, of course not, but let's talk about it. And he's like, oh, that's so great. Except he's done this, and there's not been anything since then about him doing anything about that. I think it's more about his inner turmoil, and he's having a lot of it. He's really bad at getting himself caught, because you can just confess. You're an idiot, Rhodey. It's Rosmanikov, I don't know.
Rachmaninoff.
That's The Rock 3. I do like that song, though.
Just trying to figure out a way to work Yakov Smirnoff into the conversation. What a country!
I will say that it is translated, but it does remind me, from what I remember, of Dickens, actually. Like, it seems similar, like, I don't know, I guess I know I'm reading an older book, maybe I'm conscious of that.
Is this before, did this come out before Dickens was around, or is he a contemporary?
No, actually. They're both 1800s, right? To the internet!
Yeah, I'm not going to say that he ripped him off, but the guy in Crime and Punishment is visited by 3 spirits.
Also, his name was Rachmaninoff Kratchikov.
Oh, is that Raskolnikov?
Oh, yeah, Raskolnikov.
Raskolnikov.
That is his name.
It's all coming back to me from the essays I had to write.
All coming back to me. Say what's up, right?
That's a good song.
Don't think too much of it. We may have to pay Celine Dion royalty money.
That song made her career, and it's found a new popularity with a generation of Gleeks.
All right. He was born in Moscow in 1820 and died in St. Petersburg in 1881.
Celine Dion?
She's a robot.
She looks
It's where the robots come in.
She's clearly a robot.
She's like the... I was going to say... Oh, my God. Ryan Seacrest now doing the New Year's Eve Dick Clark. He died, right?
You know, speaking of that, I was once in New York City, and I was walking down Central Park, and I saw just a crowd of people forming around this like town car outside of the Ritz-Carlton or some swanky hotel. And I'm like, I want to see who this is. Who's a celebrity everybody's clamoring about? And out of the sunroof pops Celine Dion, and everybody's like, oh.
Okay, so imagine present day. We're on a military base.
I don't have to imagine this present day.
Right. All right. Imagine a military base. Let's say out in the middle of the New Mexico desert or something. We meet a hotshot young private. Let's say he's played by I don't know.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. There you go.
Yes.
Ewan McGregor.
He's not that young.
He's trying to make his way on the army base. He has the heart of a soldier, but they make him mop floors and peel potatoes.
Okay.
He's waiting for his big chance, and he gets that chance because aliens invade.
Now we're talking.
But these aren't normal aliens.
Twist.
Okay.
Wait, we know what our normal aliens are?
Yeah, what are normal aliens?
Chances are they're probably single-cell bacteria.
Normal aliens are, the big, black-eyed, green,
Okay.
the stereotypical alien.
Follow you.
Okay, so these are different aliens. These aliens are equipped. They're kind of tiny. They're about the size of a small chihuahua. They're very weak. If you were to go
So
up,
this is War of the Worlds.
if you were to
Spoiler alert! Crap!
if you were to go up against one in hand-to-hand combat, you would win. But they are equipped with laser guns,
Damn it.
and they also have at their disposal, sort of large dog-like, rhino-like, wildebeest-like creatures.
What?
Sharp teeth, very menacing. And these guns, they can use these guns to manipulate the beasts.
So their guns shoot lasers at us and/or shoot
No.
mind-control lasers.
The guns are only to manipulate the beasts.
Okay.
So, hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this.
I hope so. They came across the universe
To take over Earth.
with stables.
They're here to take over Earth. And there's 4 different colors of these beasts.
So where have you submitted this screenplay?
This is the first world premiere. This is the first for this idea. There's 4 colors of these beasts: yellow, red, green, and blue.
It's Sorry, the movie.
You're getting a little ahead of me here. Okay, so what the guns can do,
Oh my god.
depending on the situation, is the alien can shoot one of the creatures and it could split into 2. Or it could shoot a creature, or it could split into 4. Or it could reverse itself and teleport from one end to the other, anywhere. So if you're fighting one of these beasts and it's cornered, the alien could shoot the beast and it could teleport to the reverse side of the room.
What happens if it shoots you?
It doesn't work.
Why is it in a room?
Well, anywhere.
Okay.
Switching from one end to the other, it sounds like it's ass, which is where it's at. It's cornered! Show me the rear!
Oh no, that's where poop comes out. Run
All right,
away.
I'm with you. All right, so they've got these guns, and they
Right.
can do things to these animals.
Right, yes. And remember, the animals are red, green, yellow, and blue.
That's very important.
Okay, yes,
Apparently
that's
this
very important.
Is this a sequel to Battleship?
This is not a sequel.
Trouble.
So Ewan McGregor
Sorry.
is the only survivor in this first attack.
How did everyone die?
The
Is there
aliens-
any hope for us?
The aliens hit him hard.
The whole
aliens hit him
military?
hard.
Oh, the base.
Just here at this base.
I was like, the whole world's dead except for Ewan McGregor. What's the point?
So,
Sorry.
Ewan McGregor, all he has to help him is this mariachi band.
Oh my god. I am ready to watch this movie. I wasn't sold.
That's going to tie into the title because Ewan McGregor and the Mariachi Band are against these multicolored beasts who can split into 4 or 2.
What was the mariachi band doing on a military base?
Also, why not an odd number?
But because the title of this movie, those are some of the cards in the game that this is based on.
This is going to be a huge
This
pun.
is Uno.
It's Uno the movie.
You are so close. So it is a sequel to Battleship.
No, this is a standalone movie, Uno the movie. And I've adapted it, for the big screen. We've got aliens. We've got a big star, Ewan McGregor. We'll have like a sex pot, like Blake Lively will be his love interest. She'll be the daughter.
Is she in the mariachi band?
She'll be the daughter of the head of the mariachi band. She's big. She'll get the tweeners in. Ewan McGregor, he's got the international vibe, and he's a big star. We got ethnic flavor with the mariachi band, and the kids and the CGI with the aliens. Action figures with the beasts and the aliens. They'll love it, and we'll sell Uno. That game will become prevalent again. So, Uno, the movie.
What's the tagline?
That's interesting.
Draw 2. More
Lives?
I don't know. This summer, things are getting wild.
Jeremy, do you have one?
I didn't do any homework. Maybe let's create one right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let's have a rap session about one.
So if we're creating a movie, now
Yes.
when you're saying this, are we trying to create? There's a few options. So do I want to do blockbuster hit, or like artsy independent, or something that can be both? Like the artist, did that actually make money? I don't know. Like supposed to be artsy, but it did money. Like, which one do we want?
Do we want awards or do we want money?
Well, you're going to want to convince the studio that it can make money.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no point in getting an award if you lose millions and millions of dollars.
Well, we'll get Michael Bay on it.
Okay.
We know it's gonna be terrible, but it's gonna make money.
So he's
Okay.
not sure whether to switch the podcast off or because he's like, well, they keep mentioning my name, but they keep saying I'm terrible.
I think he's pretty much conceded that the Transformers is out of ideas.
Yeah.
And he's
yeah.
bored of it and tired of it, but it's making so much money.
Yeah, he's like trolling all
I
the
guess
old
if that's,
Transformers fans.
I feel like if that's his thing, like if it's, all right. Quick side note: someone in college was talking about taking a philosophy of music, and I think it was like the Clash or some band where they didn't believe in like music producers. They thought it was ridiculous. And then people are like, well, you're working for them and making money. And like, I know, and we're making fun of them and how awful they are, and they're paying us for it. So maybe he's like, this is all terrible, and I know it's awful, but I'm making so much money. So if that's the case, he's like, I can make a good movie, but they just really don't care, so I don't care.
Yeah, don't just say Michael Bay sucks and then line up to see his movie.
Lately, he's had some, I mean, at least they're entertaining. I feel like it doesn't have to be a good movie to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So right now, this is what I'm going for. I'm
Okay.
going for a movie that will make a lot of money, it'll be entertaining, but will be panned. Now, granted, you're not normally aiming for this, but I am aiming for this movie to be terrible, but will somehow make money.
Mm.
So I'm trying to think of who are actors. I'm thinking, like, unfortunately, like Rob Schneider being in like 30 movies. You see, look at that. That is the
Stellar
face
movie.
I am looking for. Well, I'm thinking like that, where they're in like a bunch of movies, they somehow make money. Or Adam Sandler, heck, I feel like he normally used to make some decent movies, but I feel like lately it's like, oh God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So he'll be in it.
Adam Sandler in My Friends and I Needed a Buck.
That'll be the name of the movie. Directed by Michael Bay. There we go. I'm not giving any more details. Michael Bay, you're writing it.
Okay, so Michael Bay, and you're gonna have like a comedic guy in it, like Rob Schneider or, David Spade could be in it. Is it gonna be a comedy though?
An action comedy.
Ooh. So are you
Think like oh my God, Die Hard. Like there's some, it's mostly action, but it's got some like entertainment. Well, actually, does Die Hard really have that? Okay, sorry, Bad Boys. Like
Bad
there's
Boys.
more entertaining dialogue with that. Bad Boys. Was that Jerry Bruckheimer?
I
Well,
don't.
that movie was a good movie.
Mhm.
But so we want like that, but bad.
I'm thinking we do like Rush Hour, and we do like a fish
love
out of
Jackie
water.
Chan.
So we'll have like Rob Schneider, David Spade.
So one of them's the Kung Fu expert.
No. And then we bring in like
Jet Li.
Well, no, we gotta go like way out in left field, not like east meets west, maybe like a jellyfish or something. As his partner, and they're trying to they're trying to
grandfather clock.
They're trying to,
Alright, not even living.
yeah, like a grandfather clock on one of those little dollies.
Played
with the
by
wheels.
Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is a grandfather clock.
And his partner.
Seth Rogen is cephalopod.
Like a trilobite or something that's like there. Quick, Stuffy, press the gas pedal.
There's just like
I
a
can't see
hole
that.
with his face, colored the same color as the trilobite, and he's like, "Hey,
Hey guys, Seth Rogen.
Now this is gonna make a lot of money.
Think about it, there are some movies that have made a lot of money, and they're really bad.
Mhm.
Granted, obviously a movie that's good usually makes more.
How do you make a movie that is really bad but still makes a lot of money?
Well, let's...
Opening
I feel like-
weekend.
You base it on a popular series of books, maybe some.
Maybe we do
I
like.
feel like a lot of advertisement and hype, which I never realized how far advertisement in those things actually goes. Because I feel like I'll see things and be like, that movie's terrible, I'm not going to see it, but somehow...
I like Snakes on a Plane.
So
No, that one was terrible and campy, so I feel like it was like intentional. I watched that. And
So what you're proposing
Sorry.
is a action comedy version of like Goodnight Moon or something, starring Rob Schneider.
Good night.
Well, they are turning.
Moon, and
Yeah.
then, like David Spade moons the camera. Ah!
See, we're laughing, and we're like, this is so awful. Someone will watch it. You will watch it, America. You know you
The
will.
people that paid money to go see Black Sheep or
I
something.
haven't seen that.
It's the worst of the two Chris Farley, David Spade movies.
See, I feel like maybe there's something about just saying like Black Sheep and not doing it. So I'd be like, what do we call the movie? Good Night Moon. That was the name of the movie.
That's the one we're going.
Good Night Moon with Rob Schneider as a grandfather clock. David Spade is his partner. And Seth Rogen.
You have to get like a
Trilobite.
well-known actor as the villain, like Robert De Niro. He plays like.
The moon.
Well, the thing is, he's not actually a moon, but he's a mob boss, and that's what they call him. The moon, because he works at night.
Guido Moon.
Guido. Well, the thing is, Robert. Oh no, he was in the Meet the. One of those I heard was really bad. I didn't see it, but one of the Meet the Fockers or the.
Probably the last one.
But I feel like he normally isn't in bed. Well, you know, he's due. He's due for a terrible.
Yeah, he's due for something.
Good Night Moon. And then who's his henchman? Someone who really does not fit at all as a henchman. Carrot Top.
I was gonna say Celine Dion. She can be like a sex
As
pot.
his capo or whatever.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I like it.
Celine Dion. No! Betty White! Yes! Betty White is the capo.
Now that's gonna get butts in seats because people love
I
Betty
do
White.
like Betty White. I'm already watching it even though I know it's
She
banned.
was in Lake Placid, and she like swore a lot. That was like pre.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
that was like
alligator or something?
1997. That was like pre, before her career took off.
That was
again.
back when she was old.
Now she's just like dirt old.
I do like Betty
It's
White.
always been funny to see old women cursing.
Right, yeah.
It is somehow amusing.
Mhm.
Yeah. I kind of want to be like her, only a man, when I'm older. She seems pretty awesome. She's living a long time. She seems spunky, and she still seems awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Betty White, you're awesome.
All right, so she's gonna be in Goodnight Moon, the movie.
It's the capo to Robert De Niro's Moon. But wait, he's have some cheesy. Oh, cheese. They can't have all the cheese in this town. I don't know.
The
Some
green cheese, yeah. He's green cheese smuggling.
That's the drug that they have. They call it the green cheese.
Green cheese. It's really like green dyed meth. Okay, so this movie, this is going to be sort of like what they tried to do with Superman Returns, where it was like a... well, I didn't see it either, but what they tried to do with it was like a quasi-sequel reboot. Because only the first 2 Superman movies were any good, they released it sort of as like a reboot, but a sequel to Superman 2. So 3 and 4 never existed anymore because they were so terrible. So what I'm thinking is this movie is going to sort of do that with this franchise, which will be kept a secret until I reveal it at the end. Okay, so...
This franchise you're going to tell us
yes,
now.
no, not now. When I reveal the title of the movie. Okay, so
guessing game.
we're gonna start out with a big celebrity male named Channing Tatum. He's our star. He's ladies love him.
He's hot.
He's very attractive.
Hey, guys like him.
Yeah.
He's attractive, man.
He was just in Magic Mike, which was supposed to be good. I haven't seen it.
It actually was. Was it actually supposed to be good?
I mean, I didn't hear anything bad about it. I mean,
I'm waiting for it to come out on home video.
As a side note, I told my girlfriend before, I was like, I would be willing to see that. She's like, why? And I was like, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be
Put her
good,
in the mood.
No, I thought it was supposed to. I mean, I honestly thought it was supposed to be. Somehow it's like
It
like
is
Magnolia.
supposed
it's supposed to be like Boogie Nights, except
Isn't it
with strippers?
Right. It
Yeah.
actually has a plot, and there's
he's
white,
not a terrible
good
actor
acting.
in it. Yeah,
He isn't a terrible actor. I
no, I've
so
heard
much-
that it's like sort of autobiographical too.
I heard, yeah, he used to be a male stripper or something.
Yeah.
he is, and Matthew McConaughey's got the role made for him, where he's like a
Shirtless.
douchebag club promoter.
Okay, so back to Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Everybody loves Channing Tatum. He's our star. We're gonna get Channing Tatum. Okay, he starts out small town plumber. Okay.
Showing his butt crack all the damn time.
He's
Read
been.
my mind.
His father was a plumber. His father's father was a plumber. He was destined to become one of the greatest plumbers of all time. He starts out in this.
Can we get at least a genre?
horror?
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Not see that coming.
Channing Tatum, he's the greatest plumber in like Brokeback, Mississippi, or whatever, some small bumblefuck town.
Is this a gay horror?
No. That was just the first thing that came
Can
to
it be?
mind.
A gorer. Oh, Fitz can.
I'm here to unclog your drain.
All right, we're getting off track.
Oh no, he's hitting me with his spear!
It's more like, oh no, he's hitting me with his spear.
No more sit-ups.
My snake
Okay.
can take care
Can take care of that clog.
Okay, so
Sorry,
Channing Tatum, he decides to move to the big city to continue his plumbing business. He wants to make it big in the big city. And,
I think I already see where this is going, but...
I don't think you do.
All right, All right, sorry.
Okay, so he goes to Washington, D.C.
Okay. Let's hear. Oh my god. This is getting too
He
real.
goes to Washington, D.C. And he sets up practice. He sets up shop.
practice. Like he's a doctor.
Now the problem you have here is you pooped too much before you flushed.
I don't
Now
normally
you
make
see.
house calls.
But this is severe. You have what's called you need a poopendectomy.
Your drain has only 48 hours to live.
If we don't remove this now, you're gonna need a new toilet. Okay, sorry. The tangents are too good.
It's all right. This is
We need
comedy
these
gold.
tangents,
This
yeah.
is comedy gold. Okay, so all right. So he moves.
Poopendectomy.
He moves to the big city. He moves to the big city, and he sets up shop. So his very first job, fancy house, right next to a very large stone staircase. That's a hint.
The house is
Oh,
next to a staircase?
it's very- this is in-
It's very close to a large stone staircase in D.C.
Can I ask where specifically in D.C.?
Georgetown, but
All right.
that's all I'm saying. Okay, so he does that job.
Okay.
He does that
We
job.
both know.
They don't know. Our listeners don't know. Okay, so he does this job. And everything seems fine. Channing, though, he has a little bit of misgivings because they paid him a large sum of money, no questions asked. He wasn't allowed to say why he was there or anything like that.
Well, I'm sorry, this is in the movie his character, or big budget Hollywood would have told him to do this?
No. This is in the movie.
Who paid him? Oh, sorry, the house. Okay, sorry, I'm with you. I'm dumb!
Right, yeah. The family that lived in the house that contracted him to fix their shower. So he did that. And everything seemed normal. The house was very ominous. But, he did his job, they paid him, and everything was fine. Suddenly business starts booming. And now he's fixing showers, unclogging toilets, pumping out septic systems all over the city. He's making tons of money. Everything is coming up green.
The end.
No. You'd like to
Feel
think
good
that.
horror of the year.
You'd like to think that. But unexplained deaths start happening. And it sort of seems random. The cops are idiots. They can't put two and two together. However, they are happening in houses where Channing Tatum's character has fixed the shower. He has figured this out. The cops are still blinded by this. But what's been happening is, the windows have been locked, doors have been chained, no forced entry, no anything, but the people in the shower have been beheaded. Their head's completely gone.
Oh, while they're in the shower.
Yeah,
That's
and
nice.
their head is gone. Nowhere to
You
be
need
found.
that. Oh.
You do need that. And so they're dead. And, the cops can't figure it out. But Channing Tatum, this is weighing down on him because business is booming, but these deaths are happening. He's put it together. So he decides to go to the church to confess because he needs help. He doesn't want to go to the cops because, they'll never believe this crazy story. I'm a plumber. They're going to put me away because they're going to think that I killed all these rich people.
At this point, we should say that we live in and around Washington, D.C., and the Metropolitan Police are the finest police officers. We have nothing against the MPD. They're very competent, and please don't pull us over.
Okay, so... all right, so he goes to whatever the big church is in D.C. The National Cathedral, yes.
Or the Basilica.
And he meets the wise old preacher, played by Clint Eastwood, who's
talking to Invisible Obama. Sorry.
Right, so
What's that?
He confesses, and Clint Eastwood is like, hey, this could be something, but he doesn't want to go to the cops because he doesn't want to betray the confidentiality. So he goes to Channing Tatum, and he says, look, I want to help you. It sounds like you've got a demon on your hands because, there's this certain obscure demon that removes the head and, the head is missing. And, he remembers this from his biblical teachings.
Unlike those more well-known demons.
Right. This is a very obscure demon.
This is the obscure beheading demon.
Right. So, Clint Eastwood wants to help. But Channing Tatum, he's like, I'm finished with this. There's been like 17 murders. I don't want to deal with this anymore. But, Clint Eastwood, he says, you got to take one more job. This will be the last job.
Yeah, you got to do one more job.
It's not that kind of movie. So,
job being my personal trainer for sit-ups.
So this last job is at this old farmhouse in Northern Virginia. And we're going to try to work in a found footage type deal too. So we're going to bring along Clint Eastwood's daughter from before he became a priest. And she'll be played by Katy Perry. And she's going to hold the camera. She's going to hold the camera, the paranormal activity type thing.
I think that's terrible casting. Because Katy Perry should be seen and not heard.
Well, no.
Not the other way around.
Well, no, she's going to be on screen before that.
While she's filming?
No. Before.
Talented.
before all this, before they decide to, take a camera to document this. Because her breasts are her greatest asset. So, there'll be like a scene where it's very tense, where she gets in the shower, and you think something bad's going to happen, but nothing happens.
Oh, what do they call that something? It's like a Luford stop.
Yeah, a loofah stop.
No,
Okay, so they go to this farmhouse. They go to the farmhouse, and there's a confrontation with the demon. And I gotta admit, I didn't think the rest of this ending through.
So now you're spitballing.
But at this point, I'm gonna say that this is gonna be The Exorcist 2, Shower of Blood.
That's ready.
I thought you were going to go Mario Brothers from the beginning.
Mario?
Channing Tatum was a small town plumber.
Channing Tatum. Moved to the big town. There you saw Koopa.
So we should think of like a better ending, because
The ending is everything in these horror movies.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not a fully fledged idea. We could figure out
Is
what
this the same
ending
demon
is.
as from the first Exorcist?
No.
Is it the demon from Insidious?
This is what happened. The first job that he did when he came to DC was at the original Exorcist house. And some of the demon sort of aura or spirit jumped onto his wrench.
Because the puke, they washed down the drain.
Right, yeah.
Tying it together.
Yeah, and, we'll re-release The Exorcist before, and we'll digitally put in, like, Channing Tatum, like, in the background with a plunger or something. Right, then it'll be like, oh, I remember that when he was in there.
What our radio audience can't see is that Jeremy's miming dancing with the plunger.
So, yes, I wish...
Hey guys, waving at the camera.
Right, yeah, so it'll be just like that. And then we'll, like, digitally put in, like, his van. Like, it'll say, like, I don't know, what could his name be? Jake Pipe will be his name.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be Jake Pipe. And we'll, like, digitally put that logo on a van that drives past outside. And we'll use CGI to put him in the original Exorcist. And it'll be, like, a whole time. But... it sucks that I didn't think up a good ending because I was so proud of everything before. but that's
plumbing.
what you guys are
Like,
here.
all right,
Yeah.
that could work.
So, any thoughts on the ending? So they have this confrontation at the farmhouse. What do you think?
I still think this could be a gay porn.
I was actually going to say it sounds like a good game.
Call it The Sexorcist, although that probably already exists.
That's got to exist.
Where
What
it's
was
like,
if you parody a parody?
You
would know this,
I
wouldn't
don't believe the fabric of space-time begins to tear.
Like if you Google.
But you've got, some hot guy who's possessed with demons and there's only one way to fix him.
Well, we know.
I need to spray you with this holy fluid. Oh, that's awful. I was gonna say, well, if it is somehow a porn, gay or otherwise, then Katy Perry should be in it. However, as a standard movie, I don't really see what her part is so far. Like, she doesn't seem like she's doing much. I see Clint Eastwood. I also see him as being a badass ghost killing.
Well, yeah, he's going to be the Father Merrin role from the original Exorcist, the Max von Sydow. He was the original. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's going to be the Father Merrin type character from the original Exorcist. The crusty priest who sort of like lost his faith. He's hit the bottle a little bit. But he has a heart of gold.
All right.
Why a plumber?
I mean, I guess I have some random thing.
Because I thought of the idea while I was in the shower.
Now, does this demon only kill people in the shower?
Yes.
It's a pretty sick demon.
Yes.
First it kills them and it's watching when they're naked.
No, it makes it a sexy horror.
This is a sexorcist. Yeah, everyone who's getting killed is also a big-breasted woman, of course.
Yes. Because if there's one thing guys like,
well,
it's a headless, big-breasted woman.
No. You show it's just them naked and then it, cuts away.
Well, no,
cuts away.
we do stuff for the gentlemen. I mean, and the ladies too.
The ladies,
We'd have
they get Channing Tatum.
Yeah, we'd have. Well, no, there'd be sort of like a Chippendales
scene. He has to.
Yeah.
He fixes a shower at a strip club.
Yeah, it's like, here you go, fellas, and then he leaves, and then that night, Big Bob goes in to, shower off the sweat from a big performance.
Ew.
He's glistening.
And then his head is just taken off by the demon shower.
I don't want to see Big Bob naked.
Why do they call him Big Bob?
Right, not because of his...
Yeah.
Not because he's overweight.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking I'd like to switch this up because I feel like in a lot of those horror movies, it's like people are okay at the end, and then they're not. Mm-hmm. It's like they're okay at the end. Oh wait, the ghost or demon, or whatever, they're actually dead or something. I feel like this one should kind of do the switch where you think it's gonna be bad, but then I think is good, or kind of at least leaves it. I'm trying to think, like What Lies Beneath. Have you seen What Lies Beneath?
No. So they were about to use some really bad soap or something, and the demon was like, "No!" and he cut their head off to save them from skin irritation.
No, I mean they actually kill the demon, and he's actually dead, and no one's irreparably harmed at the end.
Oh, so
think about have you guys seen Insidious?
Yes. With Darth Maul.
Yes, with Darth Maul. The second role. I thought that was a very good movie, and then they win at the end, except not, and then everyone really, you thought it was good, and holy crap, the shit really hit the fan.
Yeah.
The dad's lost, and then the demon possesses him, and then kills everyone.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, frick! I am the worst!
Jeremy's spoiler
or in any of the spoiler alert, Final Destination, everyone pretty much dies. So it's like, oh, we made it, and then it's zooms in on them almost getting killed. Never shows them, but you kind of assume they're gonna die.
We're gonna be talking about Gone with the Wind. By the way, spoiler alert.
I don't
North
give a
Wind's
damn.
at the end.
I actually haven't seen that.
Really?
I saw a bad horror movie in the theaters called, I think it was Bats, which was about, murderous...
How could that be bad?
Murderous bats. And at the very end, I believe they blow up the underground cave full of all the bats. But then, it's like a quiet country road, and you see one of the bats burst out of the dirt. Yeah! But then the heroes, as they're driving away, drive over the bat.
Oh, okay, I'd like something like that. That'd be good.
Spoiler alert.
So Lou Diamond Phillips was in that, I think? I think I've seen that.
I don't even remember.
I think I've seen that, yes.
Wow.
He didn't get a lot of work after Young Guns.
I've heard the name, I don't even really know what he does. I said there's two options. We ended on a happy thing, or we ended so ambiguous, you're just like, your brain explodes.
I like the ambiguous ending.
Brain explode?
Yeah.
Okay. Katy Perry is the demon. Okay.
Oh, she is the demon. Okay, so I like it.
So let's see. They get in the farmhouse. They burn down the farmhouse.
Mm-hmm. Clint Eastwood has the Bible out. He's flinging holy water around. Dos Vamanos Edemanto, whatever. He's saying, drive back to Hades, demon.
Oh wait, I kind of got something.
Yeah.
All right. You'd have to have something earlier in the movie to at least give you. Well, you wouldn't have to give you hints. What if, like you said, the shower demon is a specific kind of demon?
Yeah, it's a very specific type of demon.
Let's
say Satan was like, I'm busy with this, every
other
with this
torture.
other stuff.
Can you go haunt this shower?
Yeah, shower demon. Go on. He's like, you got it, boss.
What I'm thinking is, what if Clint Eastwood is actually either the devil or some higher devil or demon who doesn't like
the devil's supervisor?
Yeah.
So everybody.
He's another demon.
So
who doesn't
everyone is a demon in the movie except Channing Tatum.
I was kidding about Katy Perry. Although I guess if she's related to him, then she would be a demon.
She's like a
either remove her or have her be somehow a love interest.
No, she's in the movie.
All right, but not as his daughter.
Right,
She's a love interest.
It's sort of implied daughter. Like they don't come out and say it, but you assume like, oh, old crusty priest, young buxom female. It's got to be his daughter.
Of course. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So Clint Eastwood is actually some demon who doesn't like those demons for some reason. So his mission or something is to kill those demons or to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So, But you don't know this until the end. Maybe what happens is, like, he's reading through a book that has a scroll that talks about the shower demon, and as he's doing it, he's talking about all these other demons, and he mentions the one that he is, and something like that. Like, there's clues. So in the end, whatever one of those clues is or something, like hints, like his eyes glow or something, I don't know, that shows that there are worse things out there. That's the tip of the iceberg.
This is what I'm thinking. Channing Tatum shower scene at the end.
I like it.
So he comes into the shower. He starts lathering up. He's like, "Oh,
it's getting really soapy.
Glad all that stuff with the demons is over with." And then it pans over to the shower window, and then you see Clint Eastwood in there, and his eyes glow red. Credits.
Pretty sure that's every man's horror.
I got Clint Eastwood.
A red-eyed Clint Eastwood to see you in the shower.
You're pretty cute. Clint Eastwood? Come on. Not cool.
You feel lucky?
I don't know how many shots I fired
Oh, man.
I wasn't counting. Actually, now that I'm hearing how that's unfolding in a very loose outline, I actually don't. I mean, there's a lot of kinks and things that worked out. It's not bad.
No, I mean, I know that the ending was bad, but I mean, that's why I wanted to bring it up to you guys. We sort of brainstormed it out, and I am confident that The Exorcist 2, Shower of Blood, you know, it's
I think the title needs to be different.
All right, well then we'll work on the title. What do you think the title should be?
I just think Shower of Blood. I feel like Exorcist was a good. I feel like some horror movies are just always slasher lame. I feel like Exorcist original was actually a solid, kind of like groundbreaking, actually scary, had a plot, even like I guess character driven.
Okay, well the original Exorcist 2 was subtitled The Heretic. So
The Exorcist, The Heretic.
Yeah, Exorcist 2, The Heretic. But
Exorcist 2.
That was bad. So we're doing like with Superman. Like I said, with Superman. So this doesn't exist. This is now the sequel to The Exorcist.
Well, I'm just saying. I think Shower of Blood sounds like it sounds like a cheesy title that you give. I mean, because it fits. Because it is a shower.
Yeah.
It literally is a shower. Of
Right.
blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, audiences are pretty borderline retarded.
That is true.
So we want to be. Like,
oh, because it's
that's a shower movie. Oh.
I just got it,
Clarence. I understand. So you don't like the title. You think it should just be Exorcist 2?
Well,
Something, yeah.
Well, what do you think about the title?
I believe that there should be a subtitle.
Well, what about Shower of Blood?
So Exorcist 2, Shower of Blood.
Shower of Blood?
No.
We said it wasn't a porn, right? Oh, God.
That's terrible.
So awful. Niche market there.
Podcast.